Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, all. So, as we discussed in the class, the definition of translator, we said that the translator duty is to convert a written material from one language into another. And at the same time, when we are transferring a written material from one language into another, we have to make sure that the translated version conveys the meaning of the original text. And by the way, the process of translating a text from one language into another includes a kind of transcreation. So, transcreation, which is a mix of translation, localization, copywriting, where the text is culturally and linguistically adapted to suit the reader. And when we say that transcreation is also part of translator duty, we said that translated duty is to translate different types of text. We mentioned commercial, educational, financial, legal, marketing and advertising, medical, political, scientific, and technical, and also literary for sure. Since the literary translator is working with literary pieces and sometimes type of translation like AVT translations like dubbing, subtitling, and so on. Now, when we discuss the duties or the responsibilities of the translator, so the translator has to read through original material and rewrite it in the target language. And also, the responsibility of the translator should be able to use the translation or the CAT tools like translation memory software, like MimikU, SD Alitrados, and so on. And also, the responsibility of the translator, he should use a specialized dictionaries in order to get the closest equivalents for terminology and words used. And also, the responsibility of the translator, he has to research legal, technical, and scientific domains to find the correct translation if you are dealing with domains that require special knowledge. And also the responsibility of the translator that he should establish a kind of relation with the client. When we say a relation, we say a kind of respect and also a kind of trust between the translator and the client, because if the client trusts you, he will comes back again to you and ask you for to translate different pieces of information. And in case that the responsibility of the translator, so he can sometimes proofread and edit the final translated versions, especially if he's in charge of translation agency. So sometimes he can proofread and he can edit the final translated versions. And also part of the responsibility of translators that they should be able to provide quotations, which means price quotations for the translation services offered. And also, the translators should be able to consult with experts in the specialist or in the requested areas. For instance, if our client asked us to translate a piece of medical information from English into Arabic, and we are stuck with some terminology, we can consult with medical experts, with doctors, in order to find the closest equivalents for the terms and so on. Now, what to expect from translation job? Now, we have to keep in our mind that the majority of translators are self-employed, which means freelancers. And as a freelance translator, you would work from home and enjoy working from home. Although sometimes the workload is unpredictable, so you don't expect that you will work 8 hours, 10 hours from home. So it is an predictable uh, issue. Now, in-house offices, which means that you work inside agency where you will work independently, And also working as a part of a small team is in translation agencies or translation companies in large cities. And also you will usually spend time visiting, living, or working in relevant countries to keep up your command of the language and at the same time to develop your understanding of the culture, because the requirement of the translator that he should be bilingual, which means grasping two languages, and bicultural, grasping two cultures. And there are some, or there are a set of qualifications required by translation agencies. So the first one is translation studies with language and modern or translation studies with languages. And sometimes we can say that some have translation certificates, and also uh, you can also have a kind of professional degree level qualifications, which means that to equip those who are joining the field with the necessary skills and necessary techniques um, on how to work as translator. Now, for the skills needed for the translator, that the translator should have fluency in two or more languages, and also he should have a good understanding and in-depth knowledge of language. He should have he should have a good understanding and in-depth knowledge of language, and also the translator should have an excellent writing skills and command of a grammar. And also the translator should have subject matter of or the should have a special knowledge to the content that you will be translating. And also the translator should be able to pay attention to detail and accuracy. And one of the most important thing is that the translator should have time management, which means that he has to stick to the deadline of translation tasks. For instance, let's assume that the client saying that I need your my translation tomorrow at 5 p.m., which means that you have to submit the translation at 5 p.m. So you should have a kind of time management in order to submit it in time. And also the ability to work quickly to meet the deadline. So this is one of the requirement, and also it's part of time management that you should be able to work quickly to meet the deadlines, and also you should have the ability to use the language correctly, and also you should have passion. So working as a translator, this means that you have a passion to work as a translator. You have a passion to work as a translator. And you know that uh, there are some agencies that employ translators. One of the known agencies that employ translators, especially in the six official languages of United Nations, which is United Nations. They employ translators from time to time, and the rates for translators working for United Nations are high, and it's recommended to equip yourself with the skills to work for United Nation if you have the chance to be part of the United Nations. And bye bye.